Get what?
Oh, 8:30 in the morning. Oh, 7? 9.
Okay. Today is the 22nd. Thank you, Katie. Oh, no. Let's say. All right. So today we're going to go over scientific notation for the first part of class, and then we're going to do a little sorting activity. Okay. So if you currently are in pre-algebra, I need you to put your Chromebooks away. And let's get started. Scientific notation is a compact. Okay, what's compact mean? Yeah, like condensed down. Yeah, exactly right. Okay, way of writing. Very large. Okay, or very small numbers.
What does that say? Big? Large. What is large? It's because the L is connected to the A.
There you go. You're welcome. A number written in scientific notation has the form of A times the base 10 to the nth power. Okay, so basically this means that A has to be somewhere between 1 and 10, okay, that number. And that's why they're putting this right here. Okay, so A has to be a number basically between 1, so 1 or greater, 10 or less, or actually just be less than 10, okay? So step 1, you're going to move the decimal so that the new number is between 1 and a number up to 10. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Step 2, you're going to write using a power of 10. Okay, so the exponent matches the number of times you move the decimal. So if I move the decimal twice, what would your exponent be? 2. If I move the decimal 5 times, what would your exponent be?
5.
And if I move the decimal 13 times, what would your exponent be?
13.
Okay, that's the same always. Okay, so if the decimal was moved to the left, okay, so for instance, let's say we have the number 240. Okay, where is the decimal on the number 240? Yeah, that's the end of the number, right? Okay, we talked about that during our invisible maths session. Okay, every number has a decimal point, even if you don't see it. Okay, so we've got 240. Okay, to write this in scientific notation, I need the first number to be between the numbers 1 and 10. So I'm going to move this decimal 1, 2 points to the left. That's going to give me the number 2.4. Is 2.4 between 1 and 10? Hopefully we would all say yes. On a number line, 2.4 is between 1 and 10. How many times did we move the decimal? So you are times 10 to the second power. Okay, so when we move the decimal to the left, is the exponent positive or negative? Positive. No. Nope. It's a good question. If the decimal was moved to the right, okay, so the opposite of left, do we think the exponent would be positive or negative? Negative. So this is an instance where, let's say, I gave you the number 0.024. Okay, much smaller number than 240. Do we all agree?
Yes.
Okay, I still need to move that decimal so that I can have that first number, A, in between 1 and 10. So how many points am I going to move it over? 2. 1, 2. So that still gives me 2.4 times 10. Now how many times did I move it? Twice, but I moved it to the right. So it's going to be a negative 2. Which will make this negative right here. Okay, scientific notation. If y'all haven't started using that in Perry's class, you will. Once you get into high school science, you'll use scientific notation all the time. In chemistry, physics, really any sort of science classes where you have to do any sort of computations or calculations. Okay, so awesome. Cool. Hold on just a second.
Are you recording this a minute?
Yes, I am, which is probably why it wanted to stop working.
What did you tell us about?
Yes, I did. Mr. Ben, did I tell you?
Yeah, she told me second.
All that matters. It has some parts in it.
Okay, we did it good. That's good.
All right, let's see how long this lasts. So, I want to write this standard form number in scientific notation. Okay, so where's the decimal located? At the back. And how many points do we want to move it over? We want to move it over as many times as it will give us a number between 1 and 10. So that'll give us 5.4. And how many points do we move it over? Twice. Okay, so let's look at number 2. If you moved it over 3 times, is that what you're asking? On number 1, then it would end up being 0.54 times 10 to the third. Okay, but however many times you moved it, yeah. Okay. Okay, stay with me, please. No, you're good. I was just making sure we're all right. Okay, 937,000. Okay, decimal is back here. How many times do we need to move it? Yeah. So on the bigger numbers, you'll be making it smaller. Okay, on the really small numbers, which we'll get to in a second, you'll be moving it the other way. Okay, so yeah, we'll move this one 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be 9.37. Okay. Notice how I filled in the rest of the decimal. Okay. Make sure you include the 37 so that we know exactly what that number was supposed to be. Times 10 to the 5th power. See if you can real quick do 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, I get it. We already did this like once.
I have not taught y'all scientific notation this year. Yeah. So that, well, yeah. Let's move on. Okay. It's important to forgive and forget. Okay. Or forgive and just move on. For right now, yeah. We will go on and do the rest of them, so if you want to go ahead, you can. But I'm going to stop there just so I can talk.
Yeah. Wait, do we always stop when we get to the last digit?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wait, why is it always 10?
So it is always 10 because when you are, it's all about multiplying and dividing by 10s. So since you're always with the 10, because it has that 0 at the end, you're really just multiplying or dividing by 1, and then you tack on an extra digit for every 0. Mm-hmm. Aren't you in Perry's class right now?
Well, you know what?
Multitasking is a myth. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
At the same time. Multitasking is quite simple. It is actually impossible. It's scientifically impossible.
All right. So let's check them. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I was right. Let's go.
I'm so smart. I got all of them. All of them. What do you mean? Oh, because there's a zero. It's every number that's not a zero. If it's a zero, you don't put it in the decimal.
You technically can. You just don't need it.
Exactly.
It's invisible.
It is.
Okay. Are we comfortable with 1 through 5?
Yes.
Okay. If you tacked on some zeros to the end of your number, okay, that's fine. Okay. Once you start getting in science, you'll talk about significant figures. Okay. Once you get into significant figures, adding on zeros will actually be important that you either do or don't in appropriate situations. That's not my area to teach you. Okay. So if you have questions about that stuff, I would point you to your science teacher. So, number 6. Okay, what's different about number 6? Yeah, so now we've got a really, really small number. Okay, so Alex, this is kind of what you were asking about. On this one, now we have to move to the right. Okay, so we're going to move to the right until we pass that first kind of number greater than 0, right? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So now I've got 9.82 times 10. I moved 3 times, but I moved 3 times in which direction?
Right.
To the right. So it's got to be -3. Okay, 9.82 times 10 to the -3rd power. Thank you. I didn't invent it, so, but. Okay. See if you can fill out 7 through 10 on your own.
Mr. Bennett, what are you gonna play next?
Do what?
Oh, what are you playing?
Jefferson. I have no idea what Jefferson is.
Why?
So that is a question for because that's going to be let me ask, because everybody that has this had issues with that. So just who you normally go to. Yeah. And if you don't have it, you just got to do the regular stuff.
What do you got?
You go to the OKCPS athletics website, and there's just over it says participation.
Yeah, you get 4 Fs. Because if you don't do anything, it's all separate grades, so you would get 3 Fs.
All right. I'll start putting them up here. You can check yourself. Omar, put your phone up.
You haven't done your
I've been doing it wrong, but I got them all right.
That doesn't make sense.
Like, I've been. I just did it in the wrong spot. And
All right, here's the rest of them, starting with number 6. Okay, so in the next section, what you've got are numbers already written in scientific notation. If they are written correctly, then you just say yes or correct. Okay, just mark it in some way. Okay, if they are not correct, you need to fix it. So, for instance, scroll up.
I had to be so big.
Okay, so like on number 11, okay, you just got to ask yourself a couple of questions. Okay, do you have a base 10? And is the front number between 1 and 10? Okay, so on number 11, is the front number between 1 and 10?
Yes.
Yes, so I'm just going to put a check. That one's fine. Okay, nothing I need to fix about it. On number 12, okay, what do we need to fix about that?
It's over 10.
It's not between 1 and 10, right? So we've got to move the decimal one more time. Now, how many times did they already move the decimal? So make sure you fix that part also. Focus, guys. Just focus, okay? Okay, so if we're going to move it one more time, that's going to give us 1.14 times 10, now not to the third, be to the fourth. Okay, so make sure you add that in. Do 13 and 14 real quick on your own. Kevin's on it today.
I missed that one. See, when I was in pre-K, I never slept during that time. We never did. But now, only thing I do.
You remember pre-K?
Stop!
I think at this point in my life, I remember like 1 or 2 different days of pre-K. And that's it.
I remember the whole thing. This one time, I was crying so bad, my teacher had to drag me. Like, for real. Like, I was grabbing onto my mom because I didn't want to go, and my teacher had to grab me by my waist and drag me into the classroom. Yeah.
All right. Number 13. Number 13 trips up some students sometimes. Okay. You want to think about the way that you're adjusting that exponent. Okay. If you put, listen please. If you put -6 as your exponent, just keep in mind that you are working with the negative. So if you're moving it back the other direction, like how we did on number 12, we added 1 to the exponent when we had to move it back 1. You've got to add 1 to the exponent on number 13 also, but adding 1 to a -5 takes it down to a -4 and not a -6, okay? Any questions over those 4? Noise. Let's keep going. Okay, I only want you to do, on 15 through 24, I would like for you to do the odd numbers, okay? You are more than welcome to do them all. You can. I'm just only making you do the odds. No. 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 They're same difficulty, just not trying to waste your time.
Okay.
Yeah, what it originally was.
So if you work it backwards, you add
thought I understood.
So now once you move it 3 to the right, you can put that point at that new spot.
0. Because I guess it has something to do with this.
What's up?
Oh.
Why are you writing with that miniature size pencil? She just writing.
Just make sure that you put the 8 in there. But yeah.
The 8. Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna start putting them up here so you can check. Don't look up until you're ready to check yourself.
There we go.
Oh no. This is like very confusing. Yeah. Oh no. That was not very good. It was 38. But it's 9.82. So it's 9.
Yeah, with the curly hair and the red hair and
Wait, since it's negative, it's not negative.
Okay, like I said, as you're ready, you can look up and check yourself. Don't look up until you're ready. Okay, give yourself an opportunity to kind of test how you're doing. Do what? So I'll put the answers up on the board. I think you shouldn't look at the board until you've already tried them. So that way you're kind of doing a real quick little quiz on yourself to see how you're doing. Okay?
Wait. What questions?
Yeah, 15, 17, 19, 21, and 23.
Oh, the ones that we already did?
Yeah.
2.
I already did that. What do you mean?
You're good, Alex. So all I was saying is, like, I give you time to do them on your own.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put the answers up here, but some people, like, haven't finished them yet. So I'm saying if you're still working on them, don't look up at the screen to check the answers until you've already done them.
Oh.
And then you can kind of see how well you're doing. These are notes. What? Thank you.
It's not working.
It's really important.
I can't do it.
You need more air.
Yeah, I tried that. I did it 2 times today.
It's easy. Oh, you can't use that bottle. It's already crumbled. It's not crumbled. I'm just saying.
All right. I'm going to give you I'm going to say another minute or so, okay? Listen real quick. If you are done with those, we are going to look at the comparing numbers section, okay? So go ahead and take a look at that section, okay? We are going to use the greater than or less than symbols to mark these accurately.
Apparently there's no zeros. No, there's not even a decimal there.
All right. Make sure you looked up here and check yourself. Okay. If we're still making some mistakes, that's okay. Just make note of it, and then you can ask me in just a second when I let y'all kind of break out and start working on your assignment. Okay. So, again, if you're in pre-algebra right now, if you just keep your Chromebooks put away, that'll make me feel better. Okay. Number 25. Looks down at the next section, comparing numbers. So the directions say, place a less than or a greater than sign in the circle to complete each statement. Okay, so on number 25, we have the number 7.42 times 10 to the third power is either less than or greater than 3.128 times 10 to the fifth power. Okay, now you can go through the process of filling these numbers out. Okay, so like writing the standard form. Okay, or there's one number in particular that we can look at to determine if it's bigger or smaller. Anybody tell me what number that would be? Yeah, the exponent. Yeah, exactly what Joe was saying, the power. Okay, so if I look at to the third power and to the fifth power, okay, 5 is higher, so that is going to be my answer. Okay, 3 is less than 5. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, you just go
Exactly.
down.
Now the one instance, guys, the one instance that'll pop up is when you have the same exponent number for both, and then you'll actually have to figure out which number is bigger. Okay, and that now you're just talking value. So you could have. Yeah, so you could have, let's say, 8.432 times 10 to the third power, okay, versus 8.563 times 10 to the third power. So this is an example, Izzy. The only thing that you have to kind of switch where your eyes go is instead of looking at the exponent now I'm just looking at these numbers right here. Okay. And so now you just have to decide which of these numbers is the higher number when the exponents match. Okay. So in this instance, yeah, it is for sure. I mean, it's a question of literally you telling me which number is bigger, this number or this number. So that's okay. That is actually an Oklahoma standard, though. So they will test you over just identifying which number is larger than the other number. So, all right, see how you do filling out 26, 27, and 28 real quick. I'll give you, I don't know, 30 seconds?
Negatives.
What's up? It does depend.
I get a Big Mac. Alright, let it be a cheeseburger versus pepperoni pizza. Okay. We're gonna say what is about
It's -6 miles.
I don't know where.
Just down May.
Okay, how about this? Or from Little Caesars.
Little Caesars probably. Maybe McDonald's. I don't know. That's hard. I mean, those both suck. So, okay. So 26. All right. There's the solutions 25 through 28. The negative exponents can throw people off. Okay, so just really think about it before you put your answer down. Okay. Okay, and I'm actually going to let you do. Listen, please, or you'll end up doing more than you need to. You may do either 29 or 30. If you've already done both, that's okay. But you can do either 29 or 30. Okay. Once you finish that, you have yes. That you will definitely be able to finish it. Well, maybe. It takes a while. Yes, I will. Hold on just a second.
I was spelled T, but I was spelled T-U.
I love work.
I'll tell you. I'm explaining. Okay.
Remember, she came in the cafeteria.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. When we get older, we're doing that too, okay? Okay. No, I'm not gonna make a video. Like, I actually. Then I'm gonna.
Guys, on 29, you just got to be careful that you count very closely. Okay. I had to count it 3 different times just to make sure because there's a lot of zeros there. Okay, if you happen to pick number 30, you definitely picked the more complicated number. So, what you kind of got to do, okay, is you're gonna have to write out these numbers. So, what kind of a problem is this? Is it addition, subtraction? Yeah, it's a subtraction problem. Okay, so it says the distance from the Earth to the Sun is 9.3 times 10 to the 7th power miles. The distance from Mars to the Sun is 2.28 times 10 to the 8th power miles. Which planet is closer and by how many miles?
Mars. Is that right?
Which planet's closer to the Sun?
Mars. Wait, no. Earth.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
It's just weird because Mars is.
So they're giving you 2 big numbers. Okay. Both of those numbers are how far that planet is from the Sun. So you don't have to do anything necessarily with the like Earth to the Sun and Mars to the Sun. You just have to find the difference of Earth to Mars. Okay. So the difference of Earth to Mars is going to be 228,000,000 minus 9 3. So that's 228 million miles minus 93 million miles is going to come out to be 135 million miles, which written in scientific notation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be 1.35 times 10 to the 8th power. So your answer is Earth and 1.3 times 10 to the 8th power miles. Okay? So if you will look at, after you get this written down, okay, if you will look at the comparing and ordering worksheet that I just passed out to you, you are to do today the odd numbers only.
Are we gonna do the rest of it?
If I think that we need to, but I'm going to see how we do on the odds, and then if I think we need more practice, we'll go back and do the
So
evens.
this is a homework kind of?
Yes, the odd problems only, okay?
What about the right your own?
The write your own counts as the last problem that you need to do, okay? It's a good question. I can tell how excited you are, Izzy, and I love the passion.
We only do the odd ones?
Odd ones. Odd ones and then the write your own. Okay, so let me talk you through what this is going to look like, guys. And if you will stay with me, I'll even do number 1 for you. Okay, so you have a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different numbers. Okay, some of this is stuff that we have done this year. Some of this is going to be stuff that you did last year. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is get these all in a form of some kind that you can compare to each other. Okay, so standard form is what makes the most sense. Okay, so what is 2/5? Put that number in a standard form number. So not a fraction. What is 2/5?
0.4.
Okay, 0.4. Right? What is 5.8 times 10 to the negative second power? 0.058. Okay. What is the square root of 3? 1.73. What is 6%?
0.06. Or 0.6. Or 0.6.
Pick one.
0.6.
Yes,
No, 0.6.
Yeah.
No. You didn't change. You didn't change your number. 0.6 and 0.6 are the same thing.
0.0.
There you go. 0.06. Okay, for your percentage. Okay, for percentages. Okay, how do you get that? You can put it in the calculator. Okay, 6 over 100 is 6%. Okay, 6 over 100 is 6%. So, what about 4 over 9?
0.4.
You sure?
Yes. 0.4.
4 divided by 9 should be 0.4 repeating, though. Okay. Actually, in case you didn't know, any fraction that has a 9 as the denominator is a repeating decimal. Okay. So 4 over 9 is 0.4 repeating. 3 over 9 is 0.3 repeating. 2 over 9 is 0.2 repeating. Okay. So anyway, the more you know. What about the last one? 2 to the negative 1 power.
0.5.
0.2, I think, is what I heard.
Is that the answer?
This is not the answer.
No.
Now what do you have to do?
You have to put order from least to greatest.
So what's the smallest number here?
0.05.
Yes. That one right there. Okay. 0.058, comma. So as I mark these, in order, I'm going to cross them off so I don't reuse them. Okay. What's the next highest number? 0.06. Okay, what's the next number?
0.4.
I think it's going to be 0.2.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, the reason that I wanted to specify the 0.4 repeating is because we have a 0.4 already. Okay. We can't say that 2/5 and 4/9 are the exact same thing. Okay. So what number is going to come next? 0.4. Then 0.4 repeating. And then the last number is 1.73. Okay. That is your final answer. Please make sure that if you would like to get credit for it, that you box it in, circle it in so I can see it. Okay. Now you only have number 3, 5, 7, 9, and then the write your own. Okay.
What about the back?
Yeah, that includes the back. Okay. So work on these, help each other out. If you're not sure how to convert any of these different kinds of numbers, ask somebody. Okay. It doesn't have to be me. If you don't want to ask me, ask somebody you're sitting close to. Okay. You got to be able to convert percentages, fractions, radicals. Okay. Got to be able to do all that. If you need help with like mixed fractions or anything like that, ask me too. Yeah.